And somebody also said that this stepmother might have used some African charms to bewitch him, and he had to run away from home.
Just 4 years old, John left his house and ran into the darkness of the jungle. Molly believed that it was here, nestled among the trees, alone and helpless, that John came face to face with the vervet monkeys. But as frightening as that experience must have been for John, running away from home was the beginning of a new life. 12 years later, John Sabunya is living happily with his new family. Now 17 years old, he still lives at the orphanage. In the years since he left the jungle, he's made tremendous progress. But to this day, he has trouble learning. John functions at a kindergarten level, and he speaks and understands only a little Ugandan and English. But in other ways, John has excelled. His love of running led Molly and Paul to enter him in the Special Olympics, and this has now become a passion. One of the key people in John's life is Solomon M. Weber, who acts as his big brother and mentor. Over the years, Solomon has learned to interpret John's broken language. John has become used to the urban world of Kampala. But we've asked Solomon to bring John back to the place where he was first found, to see if he remembers anything about his time in the wild. John's a bit nervous, but there's one thing he remembers clearly.
Well, we're here with John, and he's been trying to explain to me that this used to be his home. This is the very tree he was found, but it was a bit short when he could climb it. So this is the very tree where he was found.
Solomon asks what else John remembers.
John remembers more of the young monkeys, the small monkeys. He says that most of his time, during the time, they were spending that time on eats. They were ever eating whatever they had.
The reality of being lost in the jungle would surely have been frightening for a small boy. But that isn't what John seems to remember. Instead, he recalls playing with the monkeys.
John says that when he was with the small monkeys, they used to hide, and each one had to go and look for another one. So they were playing. It was kind of their game. So that's the thing they used to do.
Eating and playing are what we might expect of the memories of a 4-year-old child. But are these memories real? And would monkeys that encountered a young child in the woods really take care of him? John isn't the only child allegedly raised by monkeys. In the early 1900s, a notorious story emerged from South Africa. The strange tale of Lucas, the baboon boy. Near the small town of Kunap, police apprehended a wild boy they claimed to have found living among a troop of baboons. The officers said he behaved like a wild animal. He ran on all fours, he bit them, and he shrieked like a baboon. The boy was institutionalized and eventually put into the care of a local farmer, who employed him as a farmhand and named him Lucas. But the same officers then declared they discovered the origins of this strange boy. They claimed that Lucas had been stolen by baboons when he was just an infant from a village nearby. The case caused a sensation in the international media, and scientists were skeptical but intrigued. Renowned anthropologist Dr. Raymond Dart even sent a colleague to Kunap to interview the then adult Lucas, in an attempt to see if there was anything behind the claim that he was the real-life Tarzan of South Africa. The idea of baboons raising a human infant sounds pretty far-fetched to 21st century experts, not least because we now know that baboons can be fearsome predators, and their troops enforce a strict social order. But there are several modern-day incidents caught on tape that suggest other higher primates might at least protect a human child. In 1996, a 3-year-old boy fell into the gorilla pen at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. Keepers tried to drive the gorillas back from the unconscious child. The crowd watched in horror as they saw Binti, the dominant female of the group, pick him up.